can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when attack like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dials, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerge victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just try not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on, smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash.
I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no bill. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo real. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, how about it? You want it, you have it, you got it. Go snatch it, skirt the lot. Go ahead, jump it, how about it? Rep where you from? Where you post, department, your projects. Pain driven, itching, drumming. Look how far we coming. Heartbeat on the streets, you can do it. Ain't built for the weekend, sweet. This sugar, one man army, but get deep. Watch what you doing. I ain't damaged goods, damn out the clay. You wish you could. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo real. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, so suspenseful, I'm up in the field. Saw it in my eyes, it was the Tiger Hill. Gon' jump off the line and see the flight of field. Rewrite your history off this line right here. Your best bet be ahead, easy to get rich or dead. Trying, this ain't never new, I just be 10 steps instead. Snooze I won't, I can't lose, ready, rest or a bed. Do what you can to do, make it next move your best. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo real. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I keep it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, let's go. Get first off the edge like I don't know no feel. See that pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal.
up this magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, they like lights, camera, action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Feel like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you can die, never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side, yeah, we in it for life. It's magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh. Hey, how could you lie to my face? People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to those days. I'ma treat you how you treat me, do you like how it tastes? Shawty, use up, can't treat you like my ace. I got way too many problems to be worried, I'm straight. Me and Craig had to watch for the Jakes. On the road, this crazy, I get 80 a show. Say my money, stack it up, it look like I'm foreign cars, driving fast, I never done this before. Get on out my problems, let me up in.
Thanks, Coach. Well, the sun has gone down and the mercury going down as well. To be expected, I guess, here on an autumn night just outside of D.C. at FedEx Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Washington Redskins. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Ready. Right on 15 line. 58, right there. Watch the flag. Watch the flag.
First carry for Darius Geis. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Poss, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rocking over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter rock. Turn it up. We giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years, so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and
Thanks, Coach. Well, the sun has gone down and the mercury going down as well. To be expected, I guess, here on an autumn night just outside of D.C. at FedEx Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Washington Redskins. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Looking to throw. Brown. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Alex Anzalone in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. The Redskins send out their punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Going to give this time to the tailback. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
Set, ready, 60 outlaw. Let's go. Come on.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. We were just talking about him pregame. 3 tackles for a loss. Last week you thought he looked so explosive on film. Starting off good there. Another one in the first quarter.
He's every bit of what you described. And I don't want to make it too simplistic, but right now for him, it's see ball, get ball. And that's what he's doing really, really well, and he's doing it in the offense's backfield.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for now. 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what a good center.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Now a give. Right side, it's Vikes. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They've had touchdowns on both of their drives thus far, but now they face a 3rd and long. Back to throw. Brown. He's going to air one out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The safety, Jamal Adams, able to break that one up.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing.
At their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
You got nothing.
Sony Michel, his first carry, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
He's going to rifle one deep left side, and that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. The throw over the middle taken in. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. They're going to look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. You add in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Brown now, throwing to start the drive. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hey, 4 down.
They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Okay, 35, Mike, 35. Got you, boy. 2 6. Rotate, spell.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. No score after 1 on EA Sports. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
Wide, get wide.
Operating from the gun. Brown, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Great blocking on the return. 5. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
First down, Vikings.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw to Michelle on the screen. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Pick it up, guys, pick it up. 55's Mike, guys, 55.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. Touchdown number 22 on the season as his guys are on the board first here tonight.
The kicker on for the point after.
CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. This is taken at his 4. Now a hit and a loose football. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. They start on the ground with Geis. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Brown to throw on second down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals, and if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Back to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
A gain of 16 yards. And the Vikings.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And it's complete. Hooper. It's a first down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Eluding the pressure right. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now the ball comes loose, and the Vikings pick up the football. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. If you got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now Brown to throw from his end zone. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw from his end zone, Brown, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down.
You got it. You got tight. You got tight right there.
Here's Brown to throw from his end zone. And finding the tight end, Hooper. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Down.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Watch tight end. Hey. Four down.
From the gun, Brown. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Fielded at the 33. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Value three.
Now it's the backup gone. Going to throw right side here, complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings.
Here we go. 180. You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid. Orange. Hey, Echo. 50. I'm here all day. Go, Mike 50. Exit.
On 1st down, it's gone. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the 1st half.
The Redskins take over 1st and 10.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the 1st half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of... He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Antonio Callaway, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guy's covering, take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
The Redskins take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Looking to throw. Norton. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. 2nd and 14. He's got Hooper on the short connection.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try and get it with Geis. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Brown. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. J.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Brown now. Off play action. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Looking to throw. Brown. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything. Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Mike 50, huh? Come on, D. 25, check 25, check 25. Rotate, spell. Alert 3.
2nd and 9 now. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Check Mike 50. Mike gets a 15. Check Mike 50. Yo. Watch that. Watch the ship. Hey.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Hey, let's get this. Watch the edge. 22, Jet Bomber. 22, Jet Bomber. Hey, check right.
They'll look to throw here. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Let's go, team.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
Mike's 50.
They'll drop the throw. And he will find his man on the outside. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And this will be a long field goal if the skies were clear. But here in the rain and the elements, they'll go for it on 4th. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the 4th down play to result in 23 yards.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Throwing right, and that's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And a loose football. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me. Hatchet.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll run it. This is Michel. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Now, Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team, but the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good as his last kick.
And the drive begins with a run by Geis. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. Brown operating from the gun. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the fourth quarter, going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard, realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Redskins go for it, but it doesn't pan out. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Redskins scoop it. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. Now Brown throwing to start the drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Right. He's tied right here. He's tied on the right.
Back to throw. Brown. He's got his running back, Darius Geis. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's Brown. From the gun, he'll throw. Looking deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Throwing again. Brown. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off near the 34. Well, down 2 scores in the 4th quarter. It maybe wasn't quite desperation time, but it was getting close. And that interception there on the deep ball, that probably slams the door on their chances.
And maybe that was the thought process, that it wasn't quite desperation time. So now you take the shot before they're going to lay back any farther on defense. Go ahead.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Monte Nicholson picks it. And the return will stop right around the 25. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
On 1st down, this is Geis, and he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Jamal Adams. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
First down, Vikings.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Now a handoff here to his running back. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the 47-yard line.
22, Jet, Bomber. 22, Jet, Bomber. I got one. Hey.
They'll run it now out of the gun.
Let's go.
And he's got this down to the 35. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings. Great time there to come up with his longest run of the night. We just saw it.
Leads to a lot of satisfaction because if they're able to hang on and win this game, you know what else will happen in the locker room after this?
What's that?
Head coach is
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jonathan Allen in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked.
I'm coming to 6. Bullet, hot. Switch.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. On 3rd down, Michelle. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So for the Vikings, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And
Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to